Okay, Robert, we're going to start at the impact position. I'm comparing your swing to Grant Waite, who was a PGA Tour player during the 90s, and many of the pros believe that he had one of the best swings in golf. First thing we're going to look at is where your weight distribution is between the 2 feet. The average pro will have 85% of their weight on their left foot at impact, and you can see when you look at Grant how the red line coming straight off of his left ankle is passing right through his belt buckle. So he has clearly driven his body on top of his left foot. You definitely have more weight on your left foot than your right. That's very good. It's not quite as much as Grant, and we need to get that a little bit more. The main reason you want your weight forward is so that the low point of your swing is in front of the golf ball. The second thing we're going to look at here is the shaft angle. If we look where your hands are, your left hand is just a little bit in front of the ball, and you can see where Grant's hands are more in front of the ball than yours. His hands are almost at the red line, or almost on top of his left foot, and his shaft is, he's got it leaning forward. So your shaft is almost even with the ball. So the low point of your swing is almost right at the ball, and you did have a tendency to hit for your misses when you did not hit the iron well. You tend to hit behind the ball, hit it fat, and that's because the low point of your swing was behind the ball. Now we're going to look at some of the other positions prior to impact. Everything you do before impact has the sole purpose of arriving at impact in a fundamentally sound position. The straight line that you have in the left arm and the shaft, that's very good. So you set up with a nice extension in your arms. Your hands are in front of the golf ball. As you set your club down behind the golf ball, you are preparing to hit down into the ball. This places your low point in front of the ball. So at the startup, at the setup, in the one position, you do put your hands in front of the ball and you put your low point in front of the golf ball. Your weight distribution is pretty good at the setup. Grant has a little more weight on his left side. He probably has 55% of his weight on his left foot and 45% on his right. Here we are in the 3 position. This is when the left arm is parallel to the ground in the backswing. You can see how Grant has maintained his weight on that left foot, so he's rotating to the right, but he's not leaning to the right in his backswing. That left leg, the red line in the left going through the left knee, indicates that he's not swaying to the right. You have moved a little bit to the right. Your head is closer to the back foot than it is the front foot. And so your golf circle was set in the right place at the setup. In other words, when you set up to the golf ball, you place the low point of your golf circle in front of that golf ball. But by moving to the right in your backswing, you've now moved your entire golf circle to the right. And so now your low point is not in front of the ball anymore. It's behind the golf ball. And so you've added a complexity to your backswing, or to the golf swing, in that now you're going to have to move that golf circle back up again and on the downswing, and have to develop some consistency at doing that, which is difficult to do. You do have a little bit of a bend in your left arm. Grant is much more extended. This is something that I would like to work on a little bit, so that you have a more solid position in your arms and shoulders. Here we are at the top of the backswing. This is the 4th position. You still have your weight on closer to your back foot than your front foot. Grant is actually exaggerated. He's actually started to move more to the left even as he finishes his backswing. So he's almost falling towards the target right now. One of the things that we need to work on is how to complete a full backswing without having to move so much weight to the right side. Learn how to do that with a rotation more than a lean. Here we are in the 6th position. This is when the club is parallel to the ground. I've captured yours just before parallel. Here I've drawn the red line is coming up from the golf ball. And On Grant, I have stopped the swing before he hits the ball. His shaft is right here, and his hands have already crossed that red line, and so his hands are in front of the golf ball before he hits the golf ball. Your club is at impact right now, and your hands are on top of the golf ball, so you do not have your hands as far forward. You don't have that shaft length because Grant gets his weight more on his left foot and his hands in front of that golf ball. Even before impact, he's able to get that low point in front of the golf ball every time, very consistently, and has a downward attack angle into the ball, and you're coming in more level. Because your low point is at the ball, and so you've already finished your downward portion of your swing as you approach the ball, and then you're either having to sweep it level, or if your low point gets a little bit behind the ball, you'll actually hit behind the ball. So you can hit fat shots and thin shots when your attack angle is so shallow right here. So I need to have you have more of this steeper attack angle, which we can do once we get your weight more forward and your hands more forward at impact. I'm going to just slowly advance this. Right now he's got this nice triangle here, almost that letter Y right there. Continue through. Still has straight arms here. The spine is right here in front. So his hands are in front of his chest. His both arms are straight. Continue it through. You can see his chest is turning, his shoulders, his arms. Keeps that left elbow, both elbows are close to each other. Keeps them close together as he swings his chest and his arms as one piece. Frame advance that now. Here it looks pretty good. Your arm is almost straight. The left elbow is starting to bend, so you have a little bit of a good Y right there. But as we continue the swing through, you're going to see that left elbow start separating from the right elbow. You can see it kind of going up in the air right there. You have what we call a chicken wing finish with your left arm. In fact, both elbows are starting to separate there. You do get to a good finish on your left side, on the tip of your toe, facing the target. Very nice finish. So you've got a good foundation finish to swing to. We just need to work on a couple things. One is most of it's going to be all about weight shift and how to control how your mass moves during the swing. You want to swing around the circle, but keep the circle stable. So your hands are going to go in a circle around your body. The club is going to go in a circle, but the circle that it's on is stationary. You preset it in your setup, and you keep that circle right there. And then you just take your hands back and your shoulders and you turn, but you keep your swing on this circle, and you don't sway to the right, because that then moves the circle to the right, and that puts a lot of difficulty in having a good solid impact, so you can compress that ball consistently in the direction you want. So we'll work on some things, but you have a good solid foundation of fundamentals. We just need to add a few more.